Welcome to County Portal, your simple source for local government services and public records. Let's get started.
Can undocumented immigrants get a social security number? This is a very common question with a lot of confusion surrounding it, so let's break it down. The short and direct answer is generally no. An undocumented immigrant cannot legally walk into a social security office and get a social security number. The reason is tied directly to the purpose of the number itself. A social security number, or SSN, is fundamentally linked to having legal authorization to work in the United States. Since undocumented immigrants, by definition, lack federal authorization to work, they are not eligible to be issued an SSN. The people who are eligible for an SSN are U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents, often called green card holders, and other non-citizens who have been granted specific permission to work by the Department of Homeland Security. This includes individuals on certain work visas, asylees, and refugees. Now, this is where a different number often enters the conversation, the ITIN. You've likely heard of this. An ITIN is an individual taxpayer identification number. It's a 9-digit number issued by the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, for tax purposes only. An ITIN is for people who have to file a U.S. federal tax return but are not eligible for an SSN. This category includes many undocumented immigrants who earn income in the U.S. It is absolutely critical to understand the difference between an SSN and an ITIN. An ITIN allows a person to comply with U.S. tax laws by paying their taxes. That's its primary function. However, an ITIN does not grant legal immigration status. It does not authorize a person to work in the United States, and it cannot be used to claim Social Security benefits. It is strictly a tax processing number. There is, however, an important group to mention: DACA recipients. Individuals who have been granted Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, are given a temporary reprieve from deportation and are eligible for a work permit. Because they receive this legal work authorization, they can apply for and receive a Social Security number. This SSN is valid for employment for as long as their work authorization is active. So, to summarize the key points, undocumented immigrants without work authorization cannot get a Social Security number. They can, and often do, get an ITIN from the IRS to file taxes. An ITIN is not a work permit and is not a substitute for an SSN. And specific groups with temporary work authorization, like DACA recipients, are an exception and can get a valid SSN. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this explanation clear and helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more straightforward answers to your questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments section below.